Hi everyone, this is Mo and welcome to my sketchbook flip through for April 2022. This is the cover. I finished the cover. That itself feels like an accomplishment at this moment. And when I started this month's sketchbook, I had I had no plan. So it was my random drawings, things I saw. This was a book. I drew this from a book that my youngest borrowed from the school library. And while she read it, and she was very excited that I found some inspiration in her library book. So, she's at that age where parents seem cool. So I'm going to enjoy that while it lasts. And this is one of her toys. I think I have spoken about this in some place. I believe in one of my vlogs previously. Yeah, this is like a little glow-in-the-dark dinosaur. I think it's slightly bigger than real life, but it was so cute. And again, a lot of it is, a lot of my sketchbooking is done while I'm with her, doing things with her, because the older kids, one is in college and the other one is in high school, has a life of their own. So the time that I get is mostly with her at this point. And when I'm spending time with her, my world is greatly colored by the things that she's doing and enjoying in the moment. So these are again some more Shopkins. I'm still waiting to get this one. It's called the Swiss Miss. The drink, the hot drink powder thing, which I don't have and I want, and we still haven't gotten it, and we have ordered quite a few packs of Shopkins, and they are expensive and they are very cute, but After that, I realized that I could also do some sketchbook revival exercises. I love learning from fellow artists. So I put that there. I didn't know if I could finish all the exercises or not. But we start somewhere. So this one is from Courtney Cerruti. I know Courtney personally because she is the director at Creative Bug. Is she the director? I'm not exactly sure about what her title is, but she's the one I have worked most closely with at Creative Bug, alongside Liana, Faith, and several other of their extremely, extremely creative and wonderful people. So this is Courtney's exercise of paint swatching. She has a book on this, and anything Courtney Cerruti does, you are going to get some good inspiration out of it. She's amazing. This is Carla Sondheim's. I think I shared it before also. And I think this is probably one of my most favorite exercises that I loved doing, and I loved how it turned out. So that's why I kept a little marker over here. So just so I can say that, point that out, that thank you, Carla Sondheim. That was a beautiful exercise, and I had such a good time doing it. This is Miriam Shulman. If I'm saying these names wrong, please forgive me. I mean, I am not very good at pronouncing things. So she had an affirmation, artpreneur affirmation. That was her exercise. I did it my way. And what I really sat down and thought about it long and hard. Like, what is it that I want to affirm? What is it that I do not want to stray from? And that was what I came up with. My values lead my art. And this is Joy Ting. And I couldn't do justice to this exercise. The papers, and you know what? It may sound like I'm making excuses, but it's true that your supplies would sometimes make a difference. And it is also true that when you do exercises that other people, the teachers who are doing that work, you may compare yourself and feel like their work is so much better than mine. Of course it is, because they have spent time doing it and they have reached a position where they feel comfortable showing another person how to do it. So yeah, I had that moment like, oh, I love how Joy's turned out. Look at mine. Like, yes, of course, look at mine. Yeah, if I was working on a better quality sketchbook, like watercolor paper sketchbook, maybe I would get a little better effect. But even then, the paper is not going to substitute her experience or my practice. So just something to think about. This is Tamara Laporte. She does these magical little things, and the way she teaches is so beautiful that even if that is not your style of art, you will still be able to walk away with a finished project that is that makes you feel good. And that's how I felt. Like, I did it like in very little time, and the way she walked us through, I thought was incredible. I have always enjoyed Tamara's work. I collaborated with her in 2019 on Lifebook. And this was a Barb Sherry Blokov. My God, I probably should refrain from saying the names, but then how else are you gonna know? Anyway, so this was a bird. I didn't draw the bird that she had. I just wanted a different angle of the bird, different, how do you call it? Position, posture, pose. You get the idea, right? Yeah. So I found another bird on the internet and then I did it. This was super quick and I love drawing birds. So this was a good one for me. I don't know, I'm not saying it turned out good, but I'm just saying like I had fun doing it. And this one was so much fun too. And you know, because I am working within the sketchbook, I had to really innovate. How should I be able to accommodate the exercise within the framework of my sketchbook? And she had these little cutouts that were so cute, and I had to cut out one from here to put here, and I kind of enjoyed that little window. And I loved this one. I believe her name is, oh, and this was Tiffany Sharp, watercolor collage photo. And this was Rakafit Hadar. And oh my God, this is the clinical psychologist in me jumping up and down with joy. You know, all the inner child things. So even when I was a little kid, animals had quite an affinity toward me. Wherever I would go, like in India, whenever I visited my grandma's house, there were lots of monkeys. And it's an exotic country, and animals and people coexist very peacefully, even wild animals. So, and there are dogs, birds, like wherever I would go, some things would show up. And that used to really agitate my mother, because she somehow felt that I could get injured by these animals. I could get attacked, whatever. Nothing like that ever happened. There were funny incidents, but you know, they were not dangerous. So I did that. I always loved trees. I just used to climb them. Now I don't climb them anymore because I think that's kind of inappropriate, maybe. I mean, if nobody's looking, I will. But I do fear that if I fall down and break myself, I may not be able to be put back together again. Other than that, I would love to do it away from judging eyes. And this was Kaylee Gray's Messy Recipes. Last year I contributed 3 messy recipes to her classes at Get Messy Art. And I just love that girl, the way she does everything. She's just this beautiful, you know, very feminine, very subtle, yet very powerful way of doing art journaling. I love it. And this one, oh my God, this is such a mess. I loved Karen Stamper's Collage the Street exercise. I loved it. It didn't love me back so much. it's mine. I think I would have to revisit this exercise and do something better. I mean, the only reason you are seeing it because I am trying to get over all those subtle perfectionistic nudges that I have that says this is not what, nobody should be subjected to this kind of thing. And then, you know, telling myself it's okay. You're doing it for the first time. It didn't turn out as you would like to see it. That means there is room for growth. Get over it. So there. This was the lily pond. I think I did it in less than 10 minutes and it shows. If I had taken a little more time, maybe I would have done a better job. And she was using a different medium and surface. That also contributes to the difference. However, that the difference doesn't bother me. I liked her idea. Like all these different takes on things. And this is Renee Mueller, the Water Lily Pond Abstract Landscape. Abstracts are not easy. And this exercise, I loved it. This is Lakeisha Hall. And I just, you know, I just love to journal. Even if there is no art attached to it, I just keep on, I love writing down whatever I'm feeling. And once I get into that flow of writing, oh my God, lots of questions and things that I have wondered about before would suddenly fall out onto the page and give me the clarity that I need. And it is not even intentional. Anytime I try to squeeze an answer out of the universe doesn't even give two cents worth of importance to that. But if I can surrender and allow, it comes to me eventually. And I talked about this, I believe, in last week's vlog. This is Estee McLeod and Let's Drop Cats. These are based on numbers, and I just had such a good time. These are not exercises that I regularly do. And when I do such things, I feel like a kid again, you know, trying out something new that I have never tried before. And anytime I think about all the things that I have never tried before, I feel like a kid because, yeah, there is so much wonder to take in. And no matter how old someone is, there is always going to be more things to wonder about than your age. So this was such a fun exercise. And then this one, my proportions are very off, but I did it, not because I was good at it, I just did it courageously anyways. And this is Barbara Bauman. And this is Faith Evans Sills. I always like what she does. So calming. And I did it, I took an inspiration from, I started with her inspiration, and then there was something lying on my desk that drew my attention, and I decided, hey, this is where this exercise transfers hands from Faith to Mou. And so I'm going to honor what I am seeing in front of me because it's calling me. And so that's how that happened. But the original and the inspiration came from Faith. And these are Terry Runions, Blobs to Birds and Cats. I think I did the cats in a different, because it was not dry. And it was so pooling because of the paper that I just had to, I couldn't use a heat tool to dry it. So I did the cats over here. Yeah, this was fun. This was fun. Because these are things I typically don't do. And, you know, I don't know if I'm going to do something like this again. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Why not? This one, again, if I was working with proper watercolors on proper watercolor paper, I think the output would have been better. But I loved her idea, how she was working this, Chris Keys, that's who I'm talking about, and her watercolor wildflower floral painting workshop. I like coxcomb. They are very interesting. We grew coxcomb in our yard. Marigold. Marigold always marigold is always associated with the smell of incense, because in India we use flowers in our worship, and marigold is a staple. So the smell of sandalwood, incense, and marigold, it brings back many memories for me. Yeah, I would like to revisit this exercise. I loved how she did it. I just didn't I accepted that I want to finish my sketchbook, and my sketchbook is not made of watercolor paper. And of course I could make it on watercolor paper and stick it down, but I was not going to do it. I was busy finishing my painting, and this was happening on the side while the paint on the canvas dried. And this was so good. This was so good. It's Ida Anderson Lang, I believe. Gold and Graphite Reverie. The way she was doing it, I felt like I need a bigger surface to do this on. And maybe I will, I don't know. You know, whenever I look at other people's work, I'm like, I want to do it in such a massive big way also. But then I return to what I typically like to do and don't always come back to it. But, you know, I do similar things, but not quite in this way. I love the gold and the graphite idea. I did not have graphite powder or anything. I simply used Paints gray watercolor paint. The brushing and all, I did use my Faber-Castell, the Castell 9000 pencil to kind of prepare a surface. And I love the idea of erasing to create the highlight. I also use my kneadable eraser for blending and highlighting. So it was good to see her do it with graphite. Zentangles are always fun. I just love the kind of art that are, that are not scientific illustrations, which I also love, and architectural blueprints, which I also love. But when I do it, I like the relaxation of it. And this is Melinda Barlow. Passion can make the impossible happen. The art of Zentangle. Zentangle is something even I can do better with. So I will probably explore this further. Oh, this was Shubhasri, and I'm not going to try to say the last name, even though I'm also Indian. So this was what three things I'm grateful for in my body today, and then what hats do I wear. And this is my front door. I didn't look at it. It's fairly close because I am an observant person, and if my kids see this, they're going to fall over laughing, because what hat do you wear? Chef? My God, we can hardly eat what you cook on most days. But it's like people always criticize what they don't do themselves. When they cook, I'll go to their house and eat and see how much better they are. But for the time being, they are just subjected to my cooking, and they don't think all that much. Certainly, I won't get a chef's hat for it, but I cook, hence I'm a chef. So just a little humor. This was Dania Ahmed, Mindful Practice, Create a Mixed Media Art Journal page. I didn't have any of the tools that she was using, so I just, took my palette knife and put some paint down, and then painted blobs and scratched out anything. And what I thought at the moment, I wrote down. I've been pondering about this for some time. When strengths feel obsolete or even feel like weaknesses, be still and keep learning patiently. That's like a note to self, reminder, clarity that dawns on when I'm in the midst of a lot of art projects. I get so much clarity on entirely unrelated things. This is Vidhi and her gouache pattern designs. I liked what she was teaching, and that would be a whole dedicated sketchbook actually. Yes, there are so many ideas in here that could become a sketchbook practice by itself, by themselves. I don't know. You know what I mean. So that, and I think this was Abby C. She was talking about something entirely different. She was talking about travel journaling, collage travel journaling, and gosh, when was the last time I traveled? Like ever since pandemic started, I haven't left. Like I leave home to take my kids to school kind of thing, and to do groceries and other chores and errands. Nothing exciting has happened far away from home. However, what has happened is an exploration, a closer, more observant exploration of the neighborhood, and noticing the details from fence posts to knockers on doors. Yeah, so in many ways, the exploration has simply. I used to think when you go out in the world and do things, that is expansion. But I'm also beginning to think sometimes when you come close to home and look deeper, that is also expansion. So yeah, I'm expanding in a different direction. Let's just say it that way. And then I did this. This is a paper I torn out of a magazine. And this has got nothing to do with my neighborhood explorations either. But this is the question that stood out to me. How do you keep it simple? And I thought, like yesterday when can clearly say that I was doing it yesterday, and in the midst of finishing my paintings where the show goes live today. And yeah, the clarity, all that started coming, and I could understand that remembering my own truth and being clear on my core values, returning to that part of myself makes everything very simple. I know what is the right course of action, what is the next right thing for me to do. There, of course, can be contradictions, oppositions, all those things, and potential and actual subjugation sometimes. But irrespective of that, knowing what I need to do makes things very, very simple. Not easy, but simple. And this was Karen Abend's session. It was a creative celebration with characters. I loved her teaching style and I really enjoyed making this. Mine did not turn out very nice. I should take more time. At this point, it was late at night and I was very tired and I was very determined I'm going to finish Sketchbook Revival 2022 because, I don't always finish the things that I start, and I don't always hold myself accountable because there is value in letting go of certain intentions as well. However, this one I was so close to the end that I could taste the joy of completion and I did it. So for something like this, I would probably take a little more time to do it nicer. I can do it a little better, but I was just at that point, I want to finish this. I felt like a zombie at that point in night. But I am so very grateful for what she hosted and that I was able to make the time to create something, taking inspiration from other artists who are also on a creative journey. And these are all the classes, the sessions, and the ones that I completed are marked in orange. And this one I wish to do, Suhita Shirodkar, draw with confidence, draw just about anything with confidence. I didn't have space here. It is probably going to spill over into my May sketchbook. And then Charlie Shills, is that how you say it? I don't know, forgive me. Create like a kid again. I am certainly going to explore that one, and most likely not in this kind of sketchbook, but in a watercolor paper that can hold my water and not have a hole in the page. yeah, so those two are on my to-do list. And this is the one, Rachel Hazel. I am going to explore this more. This was so good, and I had no more space left in my journal, so I just added it to the back cover. This is my word of the year, and yeah, I did not have pens and things that I needed at that moment. So I was working on the back side of a coloring page. And that's okay, because then I get patterns on both sides. I just wanted to learn how she did it and to do it at least once, even though I'm pretty sure I'm not going to remember how beautifully and simply she did it. But still, at least here, this is done. And that is my sketchbook for the month of April 2022. I will see you at the end of May or beginning of June with my May sketchbook. I have no plans for it other than to have some carryovers from this one into that, the sketchbook revival, some assignments, and most likely I'm also going to do some messy May from Get Messy Art. I'm going to leave the link below, so if you want to sign up, you can sign up. It's free. And yeah, that's about that. Bye bye.